this teamwork going on right here. It's just what you talked about, Lucas.
Yeah.
You know, we got this guy helping this guy hold the mic right, and it's all good. So I think that's a recipe for success moving ahead. So I always like to ask some kind of off-the-wall questions to you guys to have a little bit of fun. What do you guys do for pregame to get warmed up? Do you guys have a song specifically you're interested in listening to, or do you guys have some sort of like Warhawk like battle cry or something?
Well, I mean, we usually listen to a lot of music, nothing super specific, but we get our stretches in, and then we usually do our Warhawk Jacks, I'd say, is our signature thing. So then after that, we always get in a big huddle, and we get all hyped up, and yeah, we get ready to play the game. So
I mean, he's always getting everyone going. So
yeah. Are you going to disclose who that coach is? Is that Coach Bennett or is that
it's
somebody
Coach
else?
Schilling, the D-line coach.
Yeah,
he gets going, and he says some stuff, and everyone's going.
Make the connection here. So we had Brecken Schilling on for volleyball. I'm assuming relation.
Yeah, that's her dad.
Dad.
So yeah.
I didn't want to put words in anybody's mouth. You know, I almost had Brecken Schilling doing Cotton Eye Joe on this camera. Do you guys know how to do the Cotton Eye Joe dance?
I did not.
These guys are so shy.
Yeah.
No Cotton Eye Joe dance. But you said that. What did you say it was the Warhawk Jacks?
Warhawk Jacks. Yeah.
What is that?
So that's you do. It's what every. Yeah, you spell Warhawks. Is it every two jacks? Every two jacks, you say a letter, and at the end, you say Warhawks 3 times.
Can you guys do that for me right now?
I'm gonna say I'm too sore to do that.
You guys are all looking at me like this guy is nuts, right? So let's get back to the song thing. So I asked Coach Jensen this for SK. You know, what is the song you listen to? If you had to pick one song to listen to,
I don't really know, but any good rock song that's got a good vibe to it, that's always something that gets me pumped up.
Yeah.
So, yep.
like an AC/DC, Back in Black, something like that, or
Yeah, AC/DC or
All night or something.
or Motley Crue or something like that. So
all right, yeah, Kickstart My Heart, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely,
that's a good one.
All right.
Andy, we should probably, before we get Coach Jensen on here for Sigourney Kyoto, we should probably, Coach Bennett came all the way from New FaceTime on camera.
Absolutely. Get in here, Coach Bennett. You can't hang back.
All right. I'll pop him back here behind these guys.
All right, Coach. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and we got to get something of this on tape. So if you had to describe each guys to our audience, give me what these guys are.
Oh, man. Put me on the spot here. I would say tenacious right here with Lucas. Always fighting, right? Always getting after it. Leader right here with Trent Hall. Has outstanding character, is our leader up front in the trenches, and is a great leader for this team. And then we have this kid's kind of crazy over here. And it's crazy in a good way, right? So he's a fun guy to be around. He's a spirit kind of guy, and then also he just makes crazy plays on the field too as well. So we're really fortunate to have these 3 dudes. They were all voted as team captains of our team this year, and rightfully so. I mean, they're excellent players. They're better kids. They're going to be great young men one day.
Yeah. So I got to define this crazy just a little bit more.
Oh, gosh.
When you say crazy, is that like he watches people sleep, or crazy as in
He might. He actually might. I wouldn't put it past him, but crazy as in I couldn't, walk too far away from him in the store because I wasn't sure what he was going to say or do. So that's just him. That's Asher DeBoof, and he's a fun kid. He's a fun kid to have in class, fun kid to have on a team, and he knows how to bring his teammates up. So we're fortunate to have him. I'm fortunate to have all 3 of these guys.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the favorite things about this show is getting to know the players, getting to know the coaches a little bit better. So I've got to dive into you a little bit more too.
Oh, no.
So here we go on the question about the pregame rituals.
Yeah.
What's your pregame, primer? How do you get juiced up for a game?
Well, I normally try and settle myself down a little bit. So I listen to Mozart, which is odd, right? I listen to Mozart about an hour, 2 hours before the game. And then right before the game, I listened to some Motley Crue, listened to some T.I. and some rap music, but that's right before the game, so I can get kind of amped up. But most of the time, those skill guys, they go out there and they get their specialty stuff in, and I stand with the linemen. We do a walkthrough. I talk to them a little bit, get them amped up, and then we head down there and meet the specials and get through our warm-up and get going.
So did you guys know that Coach listens to Mozart before these games? It doesn't surprise you. Now you're going to take that little nugget back and share that with the rest of the boys, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Settles the nerves. Good for the brain too. It helps me game plan a little bit.
Relax the neurons and then firing them back up.
That's right.
That's all right. Yeah. So Coach Jensen is big on hip hop. Are you a West Coast hip hop guy or an East Coast hip hop guy?
Oh, well, it kind of depends, right? I'm a big Tupac fan, so I guess I'd be West Coast hip hop, but I do like some Mobb Deep and some Notorious B.I.G. as well. So I'm not gonna diss on the East Coast, but I also listen to Kansas City rap because that's where I'm from, Tech Nine. So people forget about Kansas City in the Midwest sometimes.
I don't forget about them. That barbecue in Kansas City,
That's
brother,
right.
That's where it's
That's
at.
right. Best in the world.
That's right. So I asked Coach Jensen this last week, and I can't let this one roll by. You mentioned Tupac.
Yeah.
Is Tupac alive or is he dead?
I would love if Tupac was alive. I would love it, but I'm pretty positive he's dead. Yeah, I'm pretty positive. Yeah.
I think
I'm not
he's
a
dead,
believer in
Steve.
that.
That's 2 in a row.
Yeah. I wish he was alive, man. Rap needs Tupac right now.
Absolutely, yeah. So anyway, back to football. Sorry, sidetrack there. We had more important things to take care of. We got that out of the way. Let's get back to football. You guys have a pretty tough schedule coming up, Coach.
Yeah.
How are you going to get these guys ready to play?
Yeah, we got a gauntlet. We got Mount Air, and then we got Wayne, and then we got Madrid and North Tama. So I mean, we definitely have our toughest 4 games of the season coming up. We're going to take it week to week, right? Every week I say, what game matters, right? This one, right? Because it's the next one. It's the only game that matters. So we're going to focus solely in on Mount Air, and we're going to take it week by week. And on Friday, if our guys go out and do what we can do, we know that we're going to walk off the field victorious. So I trust and believe in these guys, and they trust and believe in their teammates, and we have a great staff that gets us prepared and gets us going, and one of the best defenses in Class A at the moment. So, I fully believe that if we take it week to week and we do what we're capable of, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna win games.
I asked the guys, what was the secret from last year to this year, going from I think a 3-5 season last year, just sub 500, to now you've only got the 1 loss. What have you seen the biggest change from last year to this year?
I think that this team is built with resiliency, right? Every one of these guys right here are very resilient. They're willing to look in the face of adversity and not back down from it, right? And that trickles down to their teammates, right? The rest of the teammates, the reason why these guys were voted captains is because they want to look, they look up to them, right? And they see them not back down from adversity, and it just goes throughout the rest of the team, and the rest of the team is resilient as well. So we lean on our leaders, and the rest of the team, looks up to them, and we go out there and face adversity every week.
All right, let's wrap this thing up with maybe some shout-outs. Coach, you want to name off your coaching staff to give those guys some shout-out? Because sometimes those guys don't get recognized, and they put a ton of time in. So I like recognizing the whole staff.
Yeah, our defensive coordinator, Brian Schilling, I mixed their names up. Brian Schutz. Yeah, that's the second thing I messed up today. So Brian Schutz, okay, Brian Schutz. Sometimes Brian Schutz and Josh Schilling turn into the same person, so maybe that's where I was going. But Brian Schutz is our defensive coordinator. Josh Schilling is our special teams coordinator. And then we have Alan Lake, who's our offensive coordinator, and Bo Leshin, who is our get-back coach, and then also kind of our spirit guy as well, right? He's the young guy. He brings the energy to these kids and does a good job doing that. Brian's done a really good job with the defense this year. And then we always have a wrinkle on special teams ready to go that Coach Schilling puts in there, and Coach Lake and I, we game plan the offense. So it's been a lot of fun this year, but the staff doesn't stop there. We got Mrs. Groom, Erica Groom, that helps us out on the sideline, that is a trainer, tapes us. tapes us up before games. And then we also got student trainers, Nathaniel Schaefer, Big Sledge, and Sawyer DeWitt. So those guys do a lot, and that doesn't always get recognized as well. And then also Brooklyn Meelan does stats for us. So those are all jobs that we have to have done, and they do a really good job doing it.
All right, I appreciate that. Why don't we run down the line here real quick, guys, to wrap this thing up. You guys are all captains. I want you to give a shout-out to 2 dudes on the team that are maybe your buddies, that are maybe your guys that don't get a lot of love. So we got to get some names out here for some parents, for some kids, so they feel good about themselves. So 2 names, each one of you.
Well, first off, I think our whole O-line is good, so I'll start off with that. We wouldn't be here without him. So if I had to pick names, I'd probably say Alex Meelan is one of them. He's just a hothead on the field, and he's always in on the play somewhere. So really big shout out to Alex. And then Ryan Groom has been playing really good this year on defense and on offense. Last year he got pulled out a little way through the season, and I think that stuck with him. And he's really improved this year and been playing really good football. So
Yeah, awesome.
The first name that comes to mind for me is Trent DeBryan. He's one D lineman who he's always there when you need him, and you can always lean on him and trust him, and he doesn't always get the attention that he should sometimes. So that's one kid that I'd say. And then probably I'd say like Ash Arthur, because he's always some kid in practice who, if you need him for scout team, he's there. Or if you need him during the game, he's there, and he always is going to do his best he can no matter what, even if he does bad position.
Amen. Scout team, shout out.
All right, I'm going to start with a kid named Dane Van Mersbergen. Played basketball last year with him for the first time ever, and we got at it a little bit a couple times, and that's the brotherhood of the sport. And he's a go-getter on kickoff, and he's always ready to go in when he needs to. We need him, and he'll do his job. And then my second one, I'm going to say Stone Tremmel. He's on Scout D. He's the cornerback that's on me, and he puts it to me. He gives it to me. And then last week at Central Decatur, he had a couple really good tackles on the goal line. So Stone Tremmel's my second one.
Well, the name like Stone, you got to be good, right? And I see the snickering on this goal line stand these tackles. I'd love to know the more of this story, but it's all good. Unless you guys want to share something about this. No details? I'll keep you safe. It's all right. All right, you being here. Best of luck to the Warhawks moving forward. Hopefully you guys can ring that bell.
All right. Again, we do thank North Mahaska Football for being here as guests on this morning's sports section, coming all the way from New Sharon on a Saturday morning. Again, they were voted our Kelly Style State Farm Team of the Week for this past week. And, of course, they'll be up for it once again this coming week. And North Mahaska always supports their athletes and their teams on the voting for these Athlete and Team of the Week. So we appreciate you guys coming in, and appreciate you, Coach Ben, players from North Mahaska. Again, our Team of the Week and being guests this week on the sports section. Now, our Athlete of the Week, brought to us by Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics, is Ottumwa football's, boy, and I tell you what, this last name, Kobe Chanthalavan, I think is maybe how you say it. I'm probably getting it wrong. But Kobe had a big game a couple of Friday nights ago, and I know Ottumwa had another big game last night against Oskaloosa. So Ottumwa off to a fantastic start for this football season. Do want to give a shout out to Brothers Market for being our host venue and our lead sponsor on the sports section. Go to shopbrothersmarket.com. Digital coupons, earn rewards, deal of the week, shopping deals. You can get the app. It is a smart way to shop. Let me adjust my camera just a hair since we're down a few people here. And let's go back to Andy, and you got Coach Jensen with you. Andy, take it away.
60-0 last night, Coach. First half game. I don't think we need to spend a ton of time breaking down stats on a game like this. It's a lopsided game, but it was homecoming week, so that was exciting. We did play well. The first team looked pretty solid last night. I placed a non-money wager that Isaac Bruns was going to have plus 100 rushing yards in the first half. and I almost took it in the first quarter. And I looked this morning, and he had 105, and he didn't play in the second half. So if I had actually put some cash down on that, I'd be feeling a little bit happier today. But, it's okay. I will do this for the kids, and we'll talk to you about it. How did the week go with homecoming?
Good. I think we're a veteran enough group that, all the activities and what goes on, they realize the importance of the game, not just all the other stuff. And, I think they handled it well. We've got 25 upperclassmen, and they've been through it. They understand, and naturally, you choose an opponent that you're not necessarily going to struggle with in homecoming, so that's kind of helps ease the nerves a little bit. But I think we stepped up to the challenge. Kids were involved all week and still focused on the game, focused on practice, and I think that showed there the first half.
It's Braden Wood in. Yeah, we're able to throw the ball a little bit. It looked like you were maybe working on some things, to fine-tune some things in that game situation. Looked at it going in.
Fair assessment. I think we know what we can do really, really well, and I think you just rely on that early to get yourself going, and then a couple scores in, it's like, all right, hey, we need to start getting looks and seeing in games some of our other stuff, whether it's our some other formations and passing the ball a little more, and it just you try to continue to work on the things that you're not great at, and we've had it in the past where, okay, we're running the ball, we're doing basically what we want on the ground, and you're up. What do? Do you just keep handing it off and keep going, or do you try to put it in the air? To other fans, they might think, well, why are they throwing when they're up? But that's what we do the worst, or we can hand it off and continue just running down your throat, or we can work on getting better at some things we're going to need in big games, and that's kind of where we were there.
Yeah, I'd like to think that the Cardinal coaching staff is aware enough of what's going on. I'm sure that they prep for you guys, know that this is a run-first team, and know that that's the case. They ended up asking, as I understand it, to run the freshmen in the second half just because of low numbers and because of the injuries, and I think it's a valid ask, right? I mean, you don't want to have maybe even a second team come out and run the risk of hurting kids worse or getting somebody put out of the game. But I don't think what they understood is that freshman team is a solid group too. Yeah. So I know it's a tough spot to put you in, and it's even worse when it's homecoming. Can you talk about that just for a second?
As long as I don't get choked up. I felt really, really bad for our seniors and juniors and, some of the sophomores that we're on the second team, and we've got some other guys that rotate with that first group, and the second half was those guys that had put in 4 years and aren't just seeing the field right now, and that was going to be their time to shine, their last homecoming, the ability to get out there and have fun and play with their brothers, and to not allow that to happen. I mean, I understand. He came over at half, and he was very apologetic and just said, our trainers are telling us to just call it, like we can't keep going. They already play a ton of freshmen and sophomores to begin with, very few linemen, a couple of those guys got knocked out, and, he just said, I'm sorry, we can't keep going, and I'm just trying to figure out, well, what can we do, I said, well, what if we, we're planning on full subbing anyway. He said, Coach, if they're older guys, it's not really going to matter, and, player safety wise, we just don't know. And I'm like, if we go young, and he's like, yeah, I said, are you all right with that? And, well, no, but we'll still do it if that's the route we need to go. And, so it was either quit now and those seniors and juniors and some of the sophomores don't get a play, or, let's finish the game and we'll just run our young guys at you. And, so I apologize to the guys. You just feel bad, what do you do? Those guys were looking forward to it. We'd practiced all week. We had those depths set, because we've got a lot of guys that maybe are a second team guy at a different position from their first team spot, and we kind of eliminated all that and really just went full new group, second group, full new group, third group, and to practice that all week, to have the hope that, all right, hey, when it's my turn, I'm going to go in and shine. To get that taken away, I feel like that's going to be something that sticks with me for a long time.
Without a question, I see the heart that you have. I know the team more than just a coach. It's tough, but for those sitting on those that don't know, herding that group of kids is tough in and of itself, and then to manage what's going on the other sideline, what they're dealing